Presenting our officials for this match. First referee, Mr. Herbert Matematico, Asian International Referee. Second referee, Mr. Bobby Celso, National Referee. Let's call on our starting lineup from our Alpha Omega Elite Spikers. Let's begin with their team captain, who wears jersey number 13, Kim Tan. At number 11, Razel Palisok. Wearing jersey number 15, John Carlo De Suyo. At number 16, Jethro Cabillan. Number 19, John Daniel Diwa. And number 23, France Lander Racaza. Starting libero is number 8, Ricardo Alfaro. Head coach, Mr. Edjet Mabayad. Presenting our chef on a diet, Far Eastern University, Tamaraos. Let's begin with jersey number 2, Jamel Codilia. At number 3, Ariel Cacao. Wearing jersey number 5, Jelord Talisayan. At number 8, Raymond Sabanal. Number 11, Lyric John Mendoza. And number 13, Mark Vergel Sabado. Starting libero is number 4, Raymond Bryce de Guzman. Head coach, Mr. Edison, Coach Ed Orculio. This is match number 50, preliminaries in Pool D. Spikers Turf, Season 6, Invitational Conference.
Presenting the starters for Alpha Omega, we have Palisok, Cabillan, Tan, Racaza, Diwa, Desuyo, and Alfaro. They're wearing purple with complementary white for today. And as for Chef on the Diet FEU, we have Sabado, Mendoza, Codilia, Talisayan, Sabanal, Cacao, and Adesir. They're wearing dominant yellow with complementary green. Chef on the Diet is still undefeated in our tournament with 3 wins and 0 losses, while Alpha Omega has 1 victory to 2 defeats. Again, these two teams still have chances to make it to our quarterfinals, but this is basically must win already at this point of the tournament.
That is correct. Alpha Omega cannot afford to drop any more games because that one loss can actually dictate their future here in the pool phase. But they will get the first point of that hit of Razel Palisok. Just by looking at the starters, alam na natin na yung top 2 scorers for Alpha Omega will be Diwa and Palisok. And as for FEU, most probably it will be a balanced production.
Ooh! What an answer by Mendoza.
No Martin Bugawan, no problem. Because as I said, they are one of the highest leapers. I guess that they really build on their conditioning program. Kasi even in the past, panahon pa lang nila, Edget Mabayad, and sila Labrador, lahat talaga sila matataas na tumalon.
OGs talaga yun. Coach Edget is the coach of Alpha Omega, right?
Yes.
He's going up against his former team. But since you already gave us a good storyline as FEU scores again, do you have specific stories that you heard in terms of the training program for the athleticism part of these Tamaraos?
I guess naturally born with athletic talents itong mga taga-FEU because bago pa sila dumating sa program nila, balita ko matataas na talaga sila tumalon. So I guess that's part of their scouting. High school pa lang.
Bare minimum, no?
FEU really wants to have tall attackers, tall middle blockers.
It's now 2-all. You have Kim Tan, who is about to serve. Did very well in their previous game. Scored 12 points against Lyceum, but now that's a service error coming from him. For those of you who are joining us, thank you so much. This is Mix Gomez alongside Neil Flores and Alexis Tinsay for FEU versus Alpha Omega. This follows the victory of Perpetual against Ateneo earlier today. Tabanal from the middle, finding a hole on the other end.
Middle blockers will most probably get the bulk of the points also. Kanina rin, in our game, the Challenge Cup, it was the middles who did the job. On the women's side naman, pero iba yung bilis pagdating sa men's game. I always enjoy watching
Yeah.
the quick attacks from FEU.
Bit of a scramble there. Good save. Chance ball for Alpha Omega. De Suyo will go to their middle blocker. Still no point. Kim Tan, opposite angle. Ball deflected. Chance for FEU. Sabanal!
Well, Kakao identified that Cabillan is undersized compared to the middle blockers of Chef on a Diet.
Wow, he just hammered it home.
The hang time, you can really see that. And hindi lang sa players nagsa-stack up itong Chef on a Diet. Look at their coaching staff. Sian Silang is already there. Jude Garcia also part of the coaching staff.
Sian is basically a fresh grad, right? Maybe just a couple of years into his professional life. It's now 3 serving 5. Jethro Cabillan sending that ball out. So now it is Mark Sabado serving on a Friday.
A lefty at that.
That ball goes in. De Suyo, back row, that's long.
De Suyo still trying to find that best point of attack here in the opening set. They've been on and off, but right now DY is in the front line. Palisok is also there, so now's the chance to run your own quick attacks.
Nice block by FEU. Palisok gives it back to the same angle, and it's the same result.
Nakaza tried to power it through, but that was just a steady wall from Chef on a Diet.
8-4, technical timeout.
Migs and Neil, Coach Ed Orcullia's squad is on a turbocharged mission. It's just to skyrocket up the rankings, and victory would throw them into the ring for their next game with Savoge, another heavy hitter, so it's all about cranking up the intensity. There is no time for a chill. FEU star player Martin Bugawan is benched today battling the flu, and Rick Saavedra is taking a timeout due to an injury pending the official diagnosis from the team's physical therapist. I actually got to catch up with Drix, who spilled the beans that pesky errors are the roadblocks to their win. Let's see if they can keep this energy alive until the end of the game. Let's answer the Pilipinas Live app poll. Back to you.
That's why Drix Saavedra was joking with us before this game. He tried to hide his injury, but apparently Alexis found out about it. So get well soon to Mr. Saavedra and Mr. Bugawan as well. Kakao tried to score to no avail. Counter here for Alpha Omega, and that's low for Palisok.
Alpha Omega just struggling to counter the attacks of Chef on a Diet here in the opening set. Tama yung sinabi ni Alexis, no? The errors of FEU have been the culprit in that four-set setter of a match against Central Mall Generals, rather. They registered 36 unforced errors compared to the 25 of the Emilio Aguinaldo College Skippers. But now they are in the lead, 6 points.
Hello. Walang mangyayari sa atin dyan, ha? Mag-usap kayo. Sino kukuha ng short? Okay?
Pre, malayo ba yan? Pre, isa-isayin natin. May pasa tayo, may pasa. Kinakamay naman lahat eh. Paluin nyo ha. Pag maganda, paluin nyo pag maganda kasi nasiset na maayos eh. Pag pangit, asa sa block ulit. Yun naman yung ensayo natin.
Dahan-dahan. Huwag niyo madali, ha?
Let's go, Alpha!
Well, you have to love the leadership of Kim Tan in that huddle, but I'm really more curious about this guy, Ejit Mabayat, since you mentioned that he's coming from the FEU program. What made him special when you watched him back in the day?
Bago dumating si Mark Espejo, it was Ejit
Ejit
Mabayad who took on the reins of the heavy-handed attackers in the men's division alongside sila Kuya Henry Pecaña. Those are the names. It was the FEU and UST rivalry back then.
How young were you back then?
I think I was in high school.
High school?
Yeah. I was watching them.
Well, it's good to see that Coach Ejit is coaching nowadays. 6 serving 11 in set number 1. Nice receive. Nice dig there.
Oh.
Ooh, but a bad second ball from De Suyo.
Bilis ng abante ngayon ng chef on a diet. And ever since, just basing it on track record, pagkaharap ang FEU, I don't know, there's that intimidation factor. Maybe it's because of their disposition, their build on the court when you see them. Tsaka pag umangat na yung mga kamay ng mga blockers, mapapaisip talaga yung mga attackers kung paano nila papalusutan. And just like that, you already saw a 3-man block organized from Chef on a Diet.
Good answer though coming from Kim Tan, not being intimidated by the blockers of FEU. I would have to agree with what you said because I myself, even though I haven't been covering volleyball for so many years, unlike you, Neil, yun din ang first impression ko. Ang lalaki ng katawan. They're very muscular, very bulky are these Tamaraws. And that's beyond their height.
Yeah, they're the lean type of muscular. Hindi sila yung bulky na malaki talaga. But you know that the conditioning is there. Now, Diwa starting to pile up points from that service line. They need every point that they can get.
Nice block by Alpha Omega in that previous sequence. They're able to keep at it versus FEU.
Out of system play for Codilla, blocked by Cabillan.
Service now for JD Diwa. There's the setup. Target to the side. Unfortunately, that ball sailed wide.
The Elite Spikers now just down by 2.
10 serving 12. That's short for JD. He was actually pretty efficient with that service in their previous game. Ariel Cacao is now about to serve. Currently number 2 in the whole of the Spikers turf in terms of best setters. Lesuyo chases and sets. Kim Tan will give up a free ball. FEU will go to the opposite. Lefty hit. That's in.
Lefty on the right side.
It's Mark Sabado.
Stronger angle. It's across court. Oh,
Service ace for Ariel.
the underhand pass was too high in terms of the form. Usually you wait for the ball to go down a little bit before you absorb the force.
Cacao serves again. This time a better receive. FEU. Talisayan from the back. Ball put up by Alpha Omega. Here's Kim Tan. Giving it up. Tamaraws back to the opposite. That's in. Just like that. It's a quick counter run by FEU. They're up by 7. Okay, so yeah, no break yet. 15 to 9. The 16th point hasn't been awarded because of this challenge on the ball in, ball out by Coach Ejit Mabayad. So Coach Ejit, since you compared him to Mark Espejo, open siya.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Was he also
He can also be a middle. Actually, all around siya in terms of attacking. Nung panahon nila, they were starting to hit from the back row already.
Oh. Was he also a mainstay in the national team?
Yeah.
As that
He
ball
was
is definitely
one of
in.
the main players definitely for the Philippines. Tried to challenge that call, but that will be unsuccessful. So now we go to our first technical timeout. Second technical timeout, rather.
Bilang isang collegiate player pa po, nakikinig lang po ako sa mga sinasabi ng mga kuya ko, mga coaches ko. Kasi lahat naman po kami may potential. Doon ko po nabuboost yung sarili ko para gawin yung best ko hanggang maganda po yung maging outcome dun sa loob ng court, wala pong problema.
Just so everybody knows, MJ Fortuna recently transferred from NU to LaSalle, so this is his residency year. He's spending it with Alpha Omega. As we would like to invite you to boost your watch list this November with Signal's Quick Boost. Enjoy more channels with no extra fees. Just load your prepaid box with loads 300 to 600 or pay your postpaid bill. As that was nice attack from Codilla going down the line. Romel Codilla.
Just above De Suyo on that hit. Kaya simple yung volleyball pagdating sa FEU eh. Kasi they won't actually, it won't actually matter if may blocker sa harapan. Pag nakaibabaw na sila, lalampas talaga sa first line of defense eh.
Attack from the back. That was by Jellard Talisayan. So the lead has been extended to 9. Timeout, Coach Edget.
Tayong grade 1 dyan, oh. Yung mga errors natin, napakasimple. Diba? Eh, hindi tayo nagtsatsaga eh. Naiinip tayo. Gusto agad natin atakin. Gusto agad natin ibalik sa kabila. One at a time lang ha. Go, simulan nyo sa pasa ha.
Okay.
Go.
Tara, malaki pa yan. Malaki. Akin yan. Papasa ako, tulungan ako. Akin yan.
Well, it can't get any more straightforward than that, Mr. Neil Flores.
Well, si Coach Edget kasi sanay siya sa high level of play. So the standards are also high for him. And he's right. Yung mga errors na nanggagaling sa Alpha Omega, these are very simple errors na kaya naman talagang iwasan.
Not the best of receives there. Attack from the back. And that is outside for Razel Palisok. So we go back with Ariel Cacao. You did talk about their lean muscles. Kita mo naman, no? Sa cuts ni Cacao. Attack from the middle. Finally, a counter by Alpha Omega.
Yeah. They have these quick attacks din naman eh, talking about Alpha Omega. But yung passing nila hasn't been as steady compared to FEU. And kita naman natin na ang layo ng mga hinahabol na bola ni De Suyo.
Counter again. Just a quick hit there by Mendoza.
There are combination plays from Chef on a Diet na ang bilis and yung approach ng mga attackers sabay-sabay. So that is a difficult attack to read.
Well, remember in our Challenge Cup game earlier, we were talking about UP delaying the speed of their digs para mas makabuelo yung setter nila. Dito ba papasok yung mabibilis yung digs papunta sa sets to the attacks?
Sometimes there are setters na mas gusto nila yung mababang pasa na mabilis so that they can fool the blockers of their opponent. But for FEU, it is situational. Pag nakakakuha sila ng chance ball, I would say na differential yung taas ng bola nila papunta sa setter. It's not super high, hindi rin naman sobrang baba. Now Ginto will be replacing Tan.
Let's see if AC Ginto can make a difference for Alpha Omega. They're down by 10 points. AC actually started in the previous game versus Lyceum. There's the serve. It's low.
Tough error. You're subbed in to score a potential point, but you end up giving up an error. Now Abunyawan will be replacing Sabanal.
Did you ever become a service specialist? I wanted to ask you about the feeling if you make a mistake.
Siguro at some point in my volleyball life, I I did become a service specialist, but as a starter, hindi yun palaging nangyayari.
Okay, so it's now 12, serving 22. Serving is Jethro Cabillan. Just scraped the net there. Wow. There's a lot of attackers approaching the setter, but that sailed wide for Jellord.
Talisayan was one of the rookies that was hyped on his rookie year for FEU. Still has that hops.
Well, he did play beach volleyball, and in the first PNVF Champions League, he was the star of his team, a young team at that. Straight points here for Alpha Omega. 14 serving 22. Oh, tough save for Bryce. No more.
Back-to-back good serves from Cabillan. And itong FEU, ang hilig nila pumunta sa middle blocking nila eh. So, you have to force them to go to the wings so that you can set up your blocking pattern. More errors coming in para dito sa Chef on a diet.
A 4-0 run. Substitution. Abunyawan will sit down. Balik dito si Sabanal. Just like that. 16 serving 22. Here's Jethro Cabillan. Came off the bench in the previous game. That's long. Very unfortunate. Now we have a double sub. Benny Martinez. The usual starting setter last year for FEU with Espartero checking in. Nico Espartero is the youngest player in this lineup of FEU. That's just ahead of Dre Delicana. Benny Martinez, long-time FEU player. There's the setup to Palisok. Tip. Tip on the other end. It's Sabanal with the point.
Pass was really close to the net, but Martinez was able to set that up via that one-hand set.
24 serving 16. 8 set points.
Madali pag may hang time ka eh, kasi kahit mapataas ng konti yung set ng setter nyo, maaabot mo ba din?
Oo.
You will still be able to push that ball over to the other side.
That's a check ball, courtesy of Razel Palisok, one of the veterans that we have in the Spikers turf.
He was a former Phoenix Master, former PGJC Navy, Sea Lion as well.
Matagal niya na bang kasama si Coach Edget?
That I'm not sure. I think this is the first or second conference that they are together in one team.
Well, there was a mistake made by Razel in that last serve. And so set number 1 goes calmly to FEU Chef on a Diet, 25-17. Set number 1 belongs to FEU Chef on a Diet against Alpha Omega. The score reading 25-17. And would you say that it was a dominating set to begin this match, Neil?
For sure. We will see the discrepancy in the numbers later on, but FEU just calm and collected even without their usual starters. Ang daming ang ginamit na second stringers on their bench, but the result was still the same. For Alpha Omega, they had a lot of errors, I would say, on the pass, but Cabellan was very steady on the service line, yung counter run nila, but masyado nang late eh. So they weren't able to come back. Dikit lang naman yung atake, and they had one more kill block compared to Chef on a Diet. But look at the errors given up by Alpha Omega. 13 points, so that's more than half of a set given up to FEU.
Well, we did hear the unfortunate words from Coach Edget Mabayad, no? That they were looking like first graders in set number 1. Let's see if they can actually go for redemption here in the second showing, as Tan made an error on his hit. Again, we thank you for joining us. This is Mix Gomez alongside Neil Flores and the mighty Alexis Tinsay for today. Very hardworking for our 3 games in the Spikers turf. Nice read at the middle by FEU.
Yeah, again, the intimidation factor present dyan sa first line of defense. Cabellan already saw 2 hands in front of him. Wanted to push that ball over, but again, you need to power through and challenge the blockers of FEU into a joust. Hindi pwedeng walang intention on that type of attack.
Point here for Alpha Omega. The first point in set number 2 to finally break the spell. Let's see if Kim Tan and company can continue.
We are still looking for the leader who will step up in terms of attacking dito sa side ng Alpha Omega. We saw some points from Tan, some points from Palisok and Cabellan in set number 1. Pero wala pa yung nangingibabaw na number 1 attacker on their side.
Wow, what a play by FEU. Half of that point belongs to Jelor Talisayan.
What a great save. Cordelia just jumping high for that out-of-system play. Bumitaw na yung blockers ng Alpha Omega.
And to your point about the leaders in scoring, we did talk about the absence of 2 leaders in scoring for FEU in this game, but it doesn't seem to be a problem so far. That's Vedra and Bugawan missing out.
They're continuing to perform as planned.
That's a block point. We have Cordelia now serving. Goods with a sharp serve.
Tough spot to be in if you're Cabellan because he is the middle blocker, so hindi talaga siya dapat yung kukuha nun. So, when you're in the front line as a middle, dumidikit ka sa net eh. At ang nakatoka sa'yo, yung mga gugulong dun sa tape, yung mga short ball, and you let the receiver sa likod take care of that first pass.
Unfortunately for Cordelia, he made a mistake on his next serve. So it's now 2 serving 5 in favor of FEU. With the help of the net, that was almost an ace. Recovery here. Diwa sends it through. Bryce de Guzman keeping that ball alive. Talisayan going cross.
Bomb dropped by Talisayan.
Well, he's been sharp today.
Sometimes, ang hirap nga basahin ng atake ng FEU because there were a couple of years na pare-pareha sila ng haircut. Tapos pare-pareha sila mataas tumalon. So it's hard to mark kung sino ba yung umiikot.
Anong klaseng hairstyle yun? Was it semi-galbo?
Usually,
The usual.
kadalasan, mga semical talaga. But now, Alpha Omega getting a clean hit.
Yeah.
Down the line in zone 1.
3 serving 6. Here's Razel Palisok with his pink shoes. Ball straight to Bryce. Cacao puts it up. Sabado pushes. A chance for Alpha Omega. Pipe. Tan. There was Bryce. Cacao chases. Sabado attacks again. Libero was there on the other end. Slide. Ball returned by Jelord.
Single block coverage from Talisayan. Well read on that slide attack. When you're blocking a slide attack, always look at the ball. Hindi mo susundan yung katawan nung attacker.
Ooh! Service error made by Mark Sabado. It's now 4-7. Balik tayo sa Alpha Omega with Rakaza. Service error from him this time. And that sends us to our first technical timeout in set number 2.
Migs and Neil on the Alpha Omega turf. Top Gun Penny Coramen is benched due to a recent PNVF match injury. Fortunately, there's no tear, but he's still recovering from the bruise. Fear not, as Jethro Cabillan is revved up to step into Penny's kicks. Penny's still suited up though, bringing the moral support Thunder. Adding spice to the game, Coach Edjet Mabayad actually coached for FEU as well, as he commands the Alpha Omega squad now. That's why they're calling today's match a Tamaraw System Showdown. Now let's dive back into the action for set 2.
Tamaraw System Showdown. Rightfully so, Neil. Right now, the Tamaraws are leading by 4. Kakao to the middle.
That reverse set to that back quick play. Very unpredictable for Chef on a Diet. Still on top by 5.
Have you covered NU and USD recently?
I covered USD's game, but NU hindi pa.
Hindi pa. So, hindi pa kita maihinga ng assessment. Hindi pa pwede. Because
I just know that the starters from their previous championship campaign, they're all back. Retamar is back.
yeah, Nico's back
Nico
as well.
Almendras is also back because there was a time na yun yung question eh. Parang they were deciding if they will be using pa yung last few playing years nila. And mukha namang na-convince sila ng NU.
Oh, another nice hit from the FEU side. But if we can go back to that conversation about NU, yes, the players are back, but they're not yet 100%. So it might be hard to assess in terms of ranking the teams. Top 3 natin yan last year sa UAAP. With NU being number 1, USD number 2, and FEU number 3. Charles Absin, by the way, has just checked in.
Former Ateneo Blue Eagle now with FEU.
Here's a hit by Kakao. That was long. It's now 6 serving 10. We shall proceed with Tata Desuyo, the former San Beda Red Lion. Kakao goes to the open, and that's low for Chad Absin.
Wanted to go for a C-shoot set, pero baba eh. Slowly but surely, Alpha Omega starting to make their counter run here in the second set. They're getting good defensive touches, but there was a net violation, so point will swing back to Chef on a Diet.
It's now 11 serving 7 as Ariel Kakao looks to his bench. There's the net touch on the supposed block by the purple shirts. Mistake made by Jethro Cabillan. Kakao has 9 excellent sets so far. We did mention, coming into this match, he's number 2 in the league in setting. Palisok against 2 blockers. He scores.
They need more of that. Kanina nakakakuha ng magandang rebounds itong FEU against Palisok, but now you can sense that Palisok has given more power to that hit.
Over receive, and It's an early Christmas gift for Rakaza. He definitely felt himself in that previous sequence.
Let's credit half that point to the excellent serving of Tan.
Kim Tan has 4 points so far. It's 9 serving 11.
You did mention that he scored 12 markers in their 4-set match. Now Charles Absin will introduce himself off that quick attack.
Absin is one of those guys as well who introduced himself on the national stage in the Champions League back in the day. Played with Jello Talisayan in the Sabong team. Then eventually they were recruited by universities, as now it's a point of the service line for Kuds. (13 serving 9). Has that been a pattern in this game, Neil, yung nagpapalitan lang ng runs?
Yeah, merong counter run itong Alpha Omega, but consistency right now is questionable because they managed to cut down the lead to 2.
Yeah.
But then they give up a string of points also papunta sa Chef on a Diet. Now, Chef on a Diet just milking that service line. Balik sa 5 ang lamang nila. Perfect
There's the
pass.
setup. Ooh, tough dig there. That sails out. No look yung pasa, no? Ni Tata.
Every time Tata De Suyo gets a perfect set near the setter's zone, that's the time na nako-confuse yung blockers ng FEU. So baka yun lang talaga yung kailangan nila to be able to catch up here in the second set. They will be on the defensive end of things in this next rally.
Combination! That meets the line for Sabado.
Very fast-paced combination plays from the Tamaraws.
And he has come alive on a Friday. Here's Chad Absin to try to send us to our second technical timeout in set 2. Opposite hit, ball deflected and put up by FEU. Bit of a chase there, Sabado tried to knock it down. Still no point. Palisok rejected at the net.
It was Tata De Suyo who got that first ball. That made it predictable for the FEU blockers.
16-10. Second technical timeout.
Halos lahat, talaga all out sa training, 100%, nagtiyaga, nagtiis. Kasi lalo na ngayon na mas dinamihan namin yung ensayo at mas hinirapan para magawa namin yung mga hindi namin nagagawa dati. Spikers turf na to parang process din po eh. Parang dadaanan namin para maging way na mas mabuo yung system na binubuo namin.
Watch the PBA 3x3 second conference this year every Monday and Tuesday only on One Sports. PBA Rush and Pilipinas Live. PBA 3x3. Lakas ng tatlo. Just saw a hammer of a hit from the side of Alpha Omega, but we also were able to watch a video of the setter of FEU. That's Ariel Cacao. And I've been wanting to ask you about him, Neil. Ano masasabi mo sa kanyang emergence in this FEU program?
It's no surprise to me kasi magaling talaga yung coaching staff ng FEU to develop these players. And when the UAAP resumed, di ba, ang daming mga bagong names, not just for FEU, but for most of the teams competing in that league. But parang hindi sila nawala eh. Sobrang pulido ng sistema. That's one thing that I noticed. And ang galing lang nila humanap talaga ng players all around the Philippines.
Well, that's what you have to love, especially knowing the fact that they have to fill in the hole left by Mark Calado.
MJ Fortuna will come into the court for the very first time. Former Bulldog. And I believe he's now enrolled in LaSalle,
Yes.
serving his residency.
That's why he's with Alpha Omega in the meantime. Benny Martinez now back in the game. Quick attack, read well at the middle by Sabanal. This time from the opposite. Net defense just prevailing for FEU. Fortuna pushing the ball. Nice read by Talisayan. Jellord gets it back down the line. That works.
That was a triple block set up by Alpha Omega. But nabasa yon ng left wing ng Chef on a Diet going to that down the line hit. No look down the line. Diyan mo makikita yung IQ ng outside hitters. Not just for FEU, but for all of our teams. Kung paano nila binabasa yung first and second line of defense ng counterparts nila. Net violation for FEU.
That makes me ask you, who's the smartest hitter in Philippine volleyball that you've ever known? Meron ba? Kasi pwede kita bigyan ng 30 minutes, Neil.
Top 3, I would say Edget Mabayad,
Wow.
Mark Espejo, and Brian Bagunas.
Wow! How relevant for us to have Coach Edget with us today as Diwa scores for Coach Edget. How about sa no-looks? Meron bang kilala sa mga no-look hits?
Madami.
Madami.
Like, most of the left wing spikers actually go to that strategy.
Nice approach there. That's the youngster. Let me find the name once more. It's Miko Espartero scoring for FEU.
Taas din tumalon.
And he's pretty lengthy. Jellord Talisayan about to serve, 19-14. Back set to Fortuna. Ball deflected and put up by Jellord. Martinez, Espartero. Still no point from the back. Ball close to the net. Now it's Espartero giving up the free ball. There's the capitalization for Alpha Omega.
Single block coverage on the side of Chef on a Diet. Diwa just capitalizing on that with a power hit.
It's now 15, serving 19. It's set number 2. JD Diwa.
The elite spikers are finally gaining traction here in the second set. That's another point for Alpha Omega.
Mistake made by Sabanal. Alpha Omega closing in. Here's the service by JD. Martinez back sets. Espartero. Boy, when he rises up, he's really animated in terms of how he approaches the ball.
That's the second or third point for Espartero. Quality minutes there for the second stringer of Chef on a Diet.
It's now 20, serving 15. Abunyawan sending it in. Opposite. That's wide. Was there a check?
There was a net violation for sure.
Double sub. Palisok and Desuyo shall return for Fortuna. And Teo. Back with Tata Desuyo. 29 excellent sets in their previous game. That's across 4 sets for Tata. Forced errors in set 2. A lot more for FEU. 6-3.
These are the things that they need to avoid. Lalo na yung service. Kanina, they were able to challenge the receivers of Chef on a Diet. Kaya nagkaroon sila ng chance ng counter run.
They have a timeout.
Time bawi ako. Kung di natin tatagyan yan, hindi natin makukuha yung set na yan. Ha?
Kaya pa yan, unti lang yan.
Pre, lima lang yan. Isa-isahin natin ha.
Hassle lang, hassle. Let's go.
Bawit tayo, bawit. Pasa lang muna ah.
Hey, Alba!
This is actually a team that's formed through friendship, no? Itong Alpha Omega squad. So, we might be able to assume that they should have good chemistry among each other already. Let's see if they can bounce back, though. Down by 5 here in set number 2. Here's Nico Espartero. He's been a spark plug here in this second set. Ball straight to the back. Alfaro to Palisok. Chance ball. Martinez looks and attacks. 1-2.
And that's the biggest no-no sa men's volleyball, no? Yung free pass na ibibigay ng overhead or underhand. That's the time na talagang sure ball na merong combination play yung opponent. And every time they give up a chance ball, you can just see the disappointment on the face of Coach Edget Mabayad. Because if you are going to be forced to give up a free ball, it would be better to go for top spins or like to go for a powerful hit na imi-make sure mo lang napapasok.
By the way, why was the point rewarded to Alpha Omega?
I didn't catch that. There was a violation on one of the players of FEU, pero balik yung violation sa Alpha Omega. Net touch.
There you go. It's now 22 serving 17 in set number 2. Goods will be doing the honors. Signature jump serve. Ball returned. Chance for FEU. Back set straight to the slide.
Short slide. Same tempo as their quick attack.
We've seen a lot of powerful hits, no, this game. Timeout.
Hindi, lalaro coach. Okay, coach.
Gawin natin, pakita natin. Okay? Puro tayo lalaro, wala mababawi. Wala naman tayong ginagawa tama niya.
Sayang yun.
Lalabas ko lahat kayo dyan.
Nabilo natin.
Malayo pa, last ko pa sila. 6 lang yan, sandali lang abulin yan. Tara. Akin yan, babawi ako.
Alba!
Mega! Uy, siglo natin sa luwas, uy!
It's now 23 serving 17 in set number 2. Ariel Cacao will be doing the honors. Sorry, that's Goods Codilla. Back set. Palisok. Ooh. A miscue there, or was it a mishit?
Yeah, he just wanted to put that ball over. But again, yun yung mga gustong ma-avoid ni Coach Edget kasi yun yung mga errors na wala kang kalaban-laban. Now, FEU is at set point.
7 set points at that. Strong serve, but it was way too strong by Goods. (18 serving 24). Russell Palisok. He rises up. And the ball sails long. That's it for set number 2. The score reads 25-18. FEU with another comfortable win in terms of sets in this matchup. It's 25-17, 25-18 so far in this game in favor of FEU Chef on a Diet against Alpha Omega. Did you see anything different in set number 2 comparing it to set number 1?
It was the same trend from the opening set. Alpha Omega still gave up a lot of unforced errors papunta sa FEU. But in terms of attacking, I would say na marami rin namang clean attacks itong Alpha Omega, but they were all over the place in terms of defense. They were very confused in the distribution of the balls from the setter of Chef on a Diet. And talagang naging frustrated din yung mga players. You can see in the body language that they weren't enjoying already. Only 9 attacks, 0 blocks, 0 serves for Alpha Omega. And for FEU, this is not a surprise for us. The 4-point production in the blocking category, led by their hard serving as well.
We did see a lot less errors from Alpha Omega in set number 2, but obviously that wasn't enough to get the set 2 victory against Zeller Talisayan and company. Let's see if MJ Fortuna and company can change the narrative against Miko Espartero here in set number 3. This is Mix Gomez alongside Neil Flores with Alexis Tinsay. Thank you for joining us for the last game of your Spikers Turf Friday. Again, the competition is just getting more and more heated up as we approach the quarterfinals. Attack from the opposite, whistle blown. It's a point for FEU.
Net touch to start off this third frame. If Chef on a Diet wins this match, they will be in the driver's seat in Pool D. Again, only 2 teams will enter the next round, which is the quarterfinals. PGJC Navy and Savoj Aesthetics actually have identical win-loss cards. So naghahabulan pa yung dalawang teams for the next spot. Once you get to 4 wins, I would say that is a pretty safe card na hindi ka mag-aalala na malaglag in the quarters. But for Alpha Omega, this is already a non-negotiable for them. They have to win this set. They have to extend it to a 5-setter and hopefully get a win against Chef on a Diet. But that quick attack has been lethal all throughout this game. Kahit sinong middle blocker pang ilagay mo, A quick, back quick, B quick, short slide. Very difficult to defend, for sure.
So it's literally no Martin Bugawan, no problem for FEU. Ang dami niya pwedeng kapalit.
This is also what I like sa FEU. You would see some teams na sasabay sa tempo ng opponent nila when hindi complete yung roster nila. But for FEU, they always give that utmost respect to all of their opponents and they play their game every single time. So the discipline is also developed.
It's now 3-1 in set number 3 in favor of the disciplined FEU Tamaraws. Fortuna, bit low there on his hit.
Some of the points of FEU, actually hindi nila masyadong pinapaghirapan na ibibigay talaga ng Alpha Omega.
Nirik Mendoza now about to serve again. 4-1. Straight to the libero. That's Alfaro. Back set to MJ. Ball kept alive. Counter here. It's low.
Desuyo just trying different points of attack for the elite spikers. He went to the left, to the right, to the back row.
I actually want to ask you about the connection of the net defense to the floor defense of FEU. What can you say about it?
Well, it is connected in a way that communication should always take place before the rally starts. Liberos would identify the stronger angles of the attackers on the other side of the floor and they would actually say that to the blockers para meron silang clear view of the direction or yung path ng bola papunta sa kanila. So sometimes you would see the blockers of FEU open the down the line, depende kung sino yung nandun. O paminsan, intentionally, ino-open nila yung cross court. Kasi nandun naman yung defense specialist nila.
Kumbaga, ihahatid mo yung bola. Well put up there by Manahan. And here's Zeller Talisayan. with his hang time. Very entertaining to watch. Counter by Alpha Omega. Great net defense though. And that sails out in favor of FEU.
Quick blitz on the side of Chef on a Diet. 5-point lead agad to establish their lead here in the third.
They've had strong starts since set number 1 in this game. Desuyo setting that ball up. Absin put it up, and now he attacks. Ball almost went down there, but there won't be a save anymore by Alpha Omega. And that leads us to our first technical timeout in set number 3.
Migs and Neil for Chef on a Diet FEU with 14 points last game. It's actually Jomel Codilla's first year playing for the Tamaraws, even though he was drafted 2 years ago by the team. This means a lot to him as he's now able to prove his prowess on the court with 14 points in their last match. Given Kuds' first time here in Spikers turf, he's actually ecstatic na nakalaro na daw niya yung kanyang idol na si Peter Kiel from the Navy. He's hoping to have a better performance in the next games, especially that they wish to enter the quarterfinals. Also, he's hoping to suit up for UAAP next year as well. Best of luck to Kuds. Let's go back to set 2.
Thank you, Alexis. So definitely Kuds would be a marked man, no, for the FEU Tamaraws, but obviously he's trying to fill in the shoes of a Mark Calado alongside everybody else wearing green and yellow. At this point, as Talisayan scores from the open, at this point, Neil, are you confident na mukhang hindi naman natin masyadong mararamdaman yung pagkawala ni Mark?
Yeah, here in this game, as expected, FEU is a type of team that will have balanced production. Parang ayaw ng sistema nila na meron lang isa or dalawang top scorers. You want multiple aces, kumbaga, na to shine for your team. And now this is a 7-point lead for Chef on a Diet. Even the scores, ang pinakamataas right now is Talisayan with 6, followed by 5 of Codilla and Mendoza.
Out of system tayo, bigay kay Franz. Yung kasama natin sa likod, ready kayo sa cover. Okay? Franz, mula idiretso, medyo nipisa mo dito. Okay? Nakukuha naman ha. Tapos tsagayin lang natin, dumidikit na tayo kanina ha. Huwag tayong bibitaw, huwag natin bitawan yan, malayo pa naman eh. Startin natin, tsagay mo dyan. Suluhin mo yung pasa dyan ha. Go.
Tsaga tayo. Go. Makita natin kung sino tayo. Alpha!
Pakita natin kung sino tayo. That's nice to hear from the squad of Alpha Omega. But can they actually respond to this domination by FEU Chef on a Diet? They're down 3-10 in set number 3. They're basically fighting for survival already here in our tournament. As we wrap up the pool phase, they will have one more game each after this matchup. So let's name those opponents. Now for Alpha Omega, they take on the PGJC Navy team, no less. And for FEU, that's a nice matchup. The last game is against Savoj.
Yeah, quality matches up ahead. Again, we're almost done with the pool phase. Just 1 or 2 more games for each team before we proceed to our knockout quarterfinals.
Nice setup to Chad.
Looks like he is settled down in the FEU program. Very happy to see him still playing.
It's now 11 serving 4. Charles Absin sending that ball straight to the libero. Push by Ginto. That won't work. It looks like Ginto's gonna ask for a challenge here on the check. Are we gonna get a challenge? Looks like the answer is no.
Biggest lead for FEU in all of the sets.
Ball up. Tesuyo chases. Ginto trying to counter. No point as of yet. There's the chase by Benny. Not the strongest of hits. Alfaro to the running Ginto. Ball put up by Chad. Martinez to Adesir. Off of the blockers, he scores.
FEU just really toying with the defense of Alpha Omega. They're still at 4 points. They need to get one good stop in this rotation. No Razel Palisok in the starting unit. You see MJ Fortuna there. DY is also there, but with the faulty passing of Alpha Omega, hindi masyadong na-utilize yung mga quick attacks.
Just like that, not the best of receives. Counter from FEU. What a hammer coming from Miko Espartero.
Just firing from all cylinders at this point. A 10-point lead. They're not showing signs na babagal itong FEU. They want to go all the way. Papunta dyan sa 25-point mark.
Now I want to get your thoughts about Espartero. What do you think is the potential of this young man?
I'm very impressed. Again, you said he's one of the youngest players on the floor. And pag athletic kasi yung isang tao sa volleyball, sobrang daling i-develop yung fundamentals. He will definitely have a bright future.
It's 15 serving 4 now. Attack point in set 3, 6-3. Tesuyo, back row, MJ. Wow, what a dig by Chad Absin. Back row on the other end, rejected by the 3-man block.
Very organized 3-man block from Alpha Omega. Yun yung kanina pang gustong makita ni Coach Edget. Just follow your game plan. Gawin mo lang kung anong ginawa mo in training. You might sound like a broken record, pero even the coaches just keep on repeating the same instructions. At yung pasa in all timeouts, mapapansin natin na binabanggit talaga ni Coach Edget.
This receive, Adesir keeps it alive. Here's Miko. Oh, it works. Everything just falling FEU's way in this game, 16-5.
Lahat kami bata, hindi katulad ng batang mga kumbaga uhaw sa panalo. May mga veterans pero iilan. Pero yung mga bata ngayon parang veteran na rin maglaro eh. Excited din kami. Kasi parang feel namin gusto namin kalaban to, malakas to. Marami kami matututunan. Di namin iniisip kung manalo matalo. Gusto lang namin may matutunan bago.
Nice words coming from team captain Kim Tan, who is right now enjoying the pleasures of resting at the bench of Alpha Omega. By the way, the first ever NBA in-season tournament is here. Watch all 30 teams battle it out. As you see an error from the Alpha Omega side. So back to the NBA Cup, no? They're gonna battle it out from November 4 to December 9 only on NBA TV Philippines, One Sports, and Pilipinas Live. Hashtag NBA on Signal. Hashtag always a fan. Now we have a challenge on the block touch.
Alpha Omega just looking for a break here. They're down by 11 points. Hopefully they get a break point from this challenge.
Well, at least some of our players are enjoying the cameras being on them. Merong certain dance move na napapansin kong madalas. Saan ba galing yan?
TikTok era.
TikTok. TikToker ka ba, Neil?
No.
Yan, si Alexis,
Si Ai.
TikToker yan. Yan ang may alam sa mga ganong klaseng sayaw. As,
No.
there wasn't any block touch there.
No block touch. Point will remain with Chef on a diet. Very dominant performance, especially here in the third set.
Coach Edget, napangiti na lang, napatawa na lang sa gilid. But you did mention, he's one of the greatest that we've ever witnessed in the landscape of Philippine volleyball. Strong serve straight to Alfaro. De Suyo opens up. Quinto is rejected. Boy, the lead has ballooned onto 13 points.
Everybody on the roster of FEU just contributing here. Halos lahat ng players actually nagamit na on the side of Chef on a diet. They're just 7 points away from wrapping things up here in our final match, the Spikers turf.
Error made by FEU. It's now 6 serving 18 in set number 3. That goes in. A chance for FEU. Espartero, that's low. Some overexcitement there for Miko on his approach. Hiningi talaga niya eh.
When you're young and mataas pa talaga yung energy, iba yung gigil actually in attacking. There's that excitement sa pagtakbo for these combination plays. You can see that on the side of Chef on a diet. Alpha Omega at 7 points. FEU now at 19.
This year now is about to serve. One of the young men wearing yellow for today. Approach by AC. That works. Check ball.
Ginto targeting the fingertips of the blockers of FEU. Isa yan sa mga go-to strategies ng mga wings eh. Pag matatangkad, pag matataas tumalon, they would really hit it with so much power. Basta tumama lang sa fingertips, tapos bahala na kung saan mag-rebound yung bola.
Nice block there by Alpha Omega. The other end, Garriedo tried to score. Not yet. Great approach, but that sails wide for Fortuna.
Perfect set though from Tata De Suyo. Reverse set to MJ Fortuna. Too much on that cross. Abunyawan will come back for Mendoza.
Jeff Abunyawan, one of the leaders nowadays of Chef on a Diet. 20, serving 8. Ball in, straight to AC. Chase by De Suyo. Open hit, ball deflected and put up by Benny. Abunyawan goes to Miko, off speed, ball put up. And here's MJ Fortuna, that's outside.
Another error for Alpha Omega.
It's now 21, serving 8 in set number 3. Ball up by AC. De Suyo back sets. MJ. There was a check.
He needed that for his confidence. Talking about MJ Fortuna. Kanina pa mga sharp angles yung pinupuntahan eh. But that time, he just really went for it. Not avoiding the blockers. Just delivering a powerful hit.
Regalo yun para kay JD Diwa. But I'd like to go back to MJ once more because he's coming in with a storyline of transferring from one school to another, no? Have you ever been a transferee in your life?
No.
But can you imagine what their mindset is? Do you think there's so much to prove, you know, for a player who transferred schools?
I guess some players really want to have playing time. That is one factor. That's why there are transferees. And paminsan sobrang dami rin talagang players sa isang program eh. Some schools, they have a team A, team B.
Right.
So there's that surplus of talent eh. But sometimes they finish naman their schooling first in their first school. And since meron pa silang playing years, that's the time that they transfer. It's just love for the sport really.
Now, you brought up the team Bs, team Cs. Ano yung deepest letter na narinig mo?
Parang Team C lang.
Team C lang naman. Wala namang Team D, ganon. Serve by MJ. Running hit for Chad Absin.
He's perfect for this program. Talking about Chad Absin, very effective in the middle. Most of the attempts that he had were converted into points. Dalawa na lang ang kailangan ng chef on a diet.
So he's the perfect example of a guy who transferred to the right school. Desuyo to Diwa. Tip, tough save. Chance ball. Let's see if Alpha Omega can capitalize. Desuyo! That's wide.
Masyado na siyang malapit dun
Yeah.
sa sideline eh. So that required an ultra soft touch for that ball to drop on the sideline.
13 match points now for FEU Chef on a Diet. Ball up by AC. Desuyo, back row. MJ puts it away.
Alpha Omega still alive.
It's now 12 serving 24. Franz Racaza will be doing the honors. Ball up. Combination. Adesir. Tough save. Bit of a scramble there. Chance ball. FEU. Bryce, Benny, Chad. And that's it. What a finisher for the FEU Tamaraos.
Finishing touch for the second stringer in Chad Absin. He's had a lot of success also, maybe at 6-7 point tally for the limited minutes that he had in today's game. That was a very strong finish for Chef on a Diet.
So no Martin Bugawan, no Drix Saavedra, absolutely no problem for the yellow shirts. We'll be back to wrap this game up.
Good evening, volleyball fans. We're finally at the end of our Friday triple header. And thank you for tuning in with us. Chef on a Diet FEU just swept Alpha Omega in 3 clean straight sets. And with me is player of the game, none other than Jelord Talisayan with 7 points, 4 attacks, 2 blocks, and 1 ace. Congratulations, Je. So, Je, you had 3 men down. You have Drix, Martin, and Andrew, who's not here. Despite this, you guys managed to clean the game with 3 straight sets against the foe. So, gaano ka-importante yung resilience and also, syempre, stepping up sa mga natira?
Siguro yung palaging sinasabi ng coach namin na hindi kami nagre-rely lang sa first six namin. Siguro yung malaking factor yung minomotivate kami ng coach namin na kung kahit wala sila, kaya namin mag-step up, kaya namin iilaban yung team namin kahit wala sila.
Yes, at kitang-kita namin yun. And secondly, gaano ka-importante yung magiging mga preparation nyo for the next coming games ahead, lalo na't you are trying to top the spot here for the quarterfinals.
I think itong panalo to is magiging stepping stone namin para sa darating na quarterfinals kung magiging top 1 kami sa pool namin. Kaya pinaghahandaan namin yung makakalaban namin sa quarterfinals tsaka sa semis.
And to end the night, Jem, may gusto ka bang batiin?
Binabati ko pala si Miss Rian, Miss Sachi, Miss Nona, Miss Lian, and sa Ricanya family, Talisayan family, Salva family, tsaka kay Master Mark Kinitaran.
Ayan, congratulations again to Jen, to the rest of Chef on a Diet FEU. More games coming this Sunday. Let's go back to the panel.
Thank you, Alexis. Just pure domination for Jelord Talisayan and company, sweeping Alpha Omega. And look at that score, Neil.
Yeah.
25-12 in set number 3.
17 and 18 for the first 2 sets by capitalizing on the free points given up by Alpha Omega. But in set number 3, you can really sense the control in the gameplay of the players of Chef on a Diet. Ang dami natin nakitang mga fast combination plays na nalito rin talaga yung blockers ng Elite Spikers. 25-12, that in itself is already a statement. Numbers won't lie, that's for sure. And again, 11 free points coming from Alpha Omega, but consistent din talaga yung FEU in registering block points and attack points in this game.
So unfortunately for Alpha Omega, that puts them out of the race for the top 2 in Pool D. But FEU, they just solidified themselves as good candidates to our quarterfinals in our Invitational Conference. So that's it. Thank you for joining us this Friday. And now we present to you the games on Sunday. Back to a quadruple header with PCU versus San Beda, Army versus Santa Elena, and then it's EAC, the Generals, taking on the Pirates of Bayleaf and Davis Payne Adamson, going up against the Signal HD Spikers, no less, this coming Sunday. Thank you so much for joining us. For Alexis Tinsay and Neil Torres, my name is Mix Gomez, and this has been your Spikers Turf 2023 Invitational Conference.